Ladies and gentlemen, I've come here tonight to speak about a serious situation in our country and tell you how I intend to remedy that situation. Americans spend an estimated $40 trillion a year on weight loss. And when I say estimated, I mean estimated by me, of course. Nevertheless, our addiction to sweets is a huge problem in this country. So how do we fix it? Salt-flavored sugar. Americans as a whole, and a lot of us here tonight, love our sugar. Imagine, though, if the next time you took a bite of a Snickers bar, you got nothing but a mouthful of salt. I know what you're thinking. The companies will never go for it. That's why we must pass a constitutional amendment mandating that sugar have salt flavoring added to it. Now, I'm no scientist, and I don't claim to know what makes salt salty. What I do know is that Americans obviously cannot be trusted with the decision of what they can and cannot eat. So tonight, I urge you to pay close attention to this presentation. First, we're going to talk about how salt-flavored sugar will break our addiction to sweets. Secondly, what does the world look like? What does our economy look like in a world of salt-flavored sugar? And finally, why? Why a government mandate? I'll give you some examples of times in the past when our government has had to save us from dangerous foods. Salt-flavored sugar will break our love affair with sweets. Candy bars, taffy, even bubble gum will not be nearly as enticing when they're all salt-flavored. Forcing candy companies to add salt flavoring would almost instantaneously break our sweets addiction. But why would they ever do that? Wouldn't that ruin their business? Well, the short answer is yes. So what does the world look like with salt-flavored sugar? Well, there would certainly be negative effects to our economy. Sales would plummet, companies would go out of business, millions would undoubtedly be out of work. But Americans are a resourceful bunch, and I'm sure that all those people would figure out something. The good news, though, is that breadwinners wouldn't need to make nearly as much money due to the decrease in the amount that we would all be eating. But why an amendment? Well, it's blatantly obvious that Americans cannot be trusted with important decisions. For example, in the early 20th century, government scientists realized that Americans were facing a deficiency of iodine. Rather than let us decide to add iodine to our diet, they brilliantly began adding it to our salt. We eat salt, and we in turn get the iodine that we needed. So as you can see, a constitutional amendment is obviously the way to cure the obesity epidemic in America. We must once again be forced to let our government save us. In conclusion, I hope that this presentation has been enlightening and showed you how Americans need their government to make important decisions for them. Thank you, and God bless America.